My experiences as a writer on the Lewis and Clark Trail stretch out over all of my adult life and some of my childhood. I've been a teenager cartwheeling my way along the trail, an employee of a tour operation working at the gates of the mountains on the Missouri River, where I met and later married my husband, and a young mother trepidatious at her young sons leaning out over the edge of a precipice to get a better view. Now, as the mother of nearly grown sons, I find myself searching for ways to make the story of the Corps of Discovery relevant to their lives, to teach them to see beyond the many distractions of youth in the 21st century, and to appreciate and know about one of the greatest journeys in our country's history. I remember vividly how the whole crazy idea of following a trail for an entire summer was not the most appealing plan to me as a 16-year-old city girl. I know this because my journal from that summer is a chronicle of my evolution from a whiny, self-absorbed teenager to an off-road traveler coming to love the gypsy life and to appreciate the rigors of hiking, canoeing, and camping. My journal is filled with the kind of memorabilia you would expect: poems, song lyrics, snapshots, and even newspaper clippings of my favorite star of that year's Summer Olympics. The cover of it has drawings, doodles, and a fortune from Bazooka bubblegum that Lewis and Clark might have appreciated. "Become a mountain climber, and you will reach your peak." Although my journal covers only one summer, the trail is very much a part of my present. It remains familiar and all around me. I am lucky to be friends with many of the folks who tell its story and who keep it alive in the minds of young people. On Kings Hill in central Montana, we faced our own version of the sinking of the iron boat when our Chevy truck broke down. First, I should explain that from infancy, my siblings and I were raised to have an unwavering faith in the Chevy pickup truck. Much like Jefferson and Lewis trusted the technology and the ingenuity of their iron boat, we ranked Chevys right up there with Mom and Dwight Eisenhower for reliability. So when the beloved Chevy truck broke down, our reaction ranged from disbelief to a refusal to witness its being towed away to the nearest dealer. I recorded on that day that we met the ranger Buzz Adolphson of Monarch, Montana, friendly, bearded, and sporting a handlebar mustache, who also happened to be a Lewis and Clark fan and liked the idea of a family following the trail. He hosted us at his cabin for dinner that night and regaled us with stories of what it was like to be a Montana ranger. I told him someday my journal might be published, and he teased me that it would be a bestseller only if I did not put my picture on the cover. 23 years later, I stuck a newspaper clipping alongside that day's entry. A picture of Buzz, still bearded but a bit grayer, patiently modernizing the campground on Kings Hill. The Missouri River Breaks National Monument Paddle is an adventure that is never the same twice. A most memorable trip was in 1993 with Larry and Bonnie Cook on their boat, the West Wind. On that particular trip, we also had our canoes, but if the wind came up, the plan was that we could all ride on their motorized boat and haul the canoes behind. It was a great plan, except for one hitch. Bonnie did not want dogs on the barge, and if you have ever been on the Missouri River with Bonnie Cook, you know you do not want to rock her boat. We made the mistake of bringing 2 dogs with us, our old golden retriever, Curly, and our toy poodle named Stanzy. That meant someone had to paddle the dogs in the canoe to the pull-off we had settled on that morning. I will never forget the extreme sense of embarrassment my husband John and I felt as we paddled hard and long, eventually past some local fishermen on the bank who exclaimed, "There's a goddamn poodle in that canoe,"